super excited to be here with you today. It's going to be a great episode. We're going to talk about all things digital, how to present your art as an artist, as a curator, as a gallery owner in the digital world with efficiency, in a very successful way, not only for today, but also for the future. And my guest with me that I have today is Nico Michael. He is the co-founder of ArtPlacer. So don't go anywhere. It's going to be a great episode.
Resources, inspiring interviews, business practices, and practical advice to take your art career to the next level. Join Sergio Gomez in today's Artist Next Level and get ready to take control of your career.
Well, hi, Nico. How are you today? How are you doing?
I'm okay. Thank you. I'm doing really well, actually.
Well,
Very
thank
happy
you.
to be here.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for joining us. And you are in a virtual room and I'm in another virtual room as well. And we're going to talk about this. And you and I, and along with your team, we have been kind of in a lot of talk recently because as you know, and our friends also may have already seen, I just recently released the new show that I'm curating online, Isolation Chronicles. Very successful launch, 65 artists from around the world as well. And it's just a super awesome experience to have all this work online, and you guys at ArtPlacer have been instrumental on make that possible. So today we're going to talk about that. We're going to figure out exactly what ArtPlacer is, what it does, and how it can help artists, curators, gallery owners, and you name it, in order to present our work out there in the world in a very efficient and effective way. So Nico, tell our friends a little bit about ArtPlacer. What in the world is ArtPlacer and what it can do for us? I know it's probably a lot of things we're going to unpack in the episode, but just kind of like a quick one, and then we'll go from there.
Well, ArtPlacer basically, it grew up into a bigger thing than we anticipated at the beginning. Originally, it was just a very simple platform to allow non-technical people to be able to upload images of any room and then set up the wall and then drag and drop their art into the walls with perspectives. The nice thing about this is that it didn't require for people to know Photoshop or any advanced graphics package. So that was done many years ago, and we did a first version of that, but we had, my partner and I, we had other jobs and we kind of like let it go. Yeah. 2 years ago, we gave it another whirl. My partner told me we should go for this. We should give it another chance. And we tried it and we revamped it completely. And it grew up into this monster, basically, because first we did the rooms and then people started asking for library rooms. They just wanted to have rooms that were prepared. So all they had to do is drag and drop the art. So we added library rooms and we have up to 900 right now. And people love it because they set the rooms up, artists, and then they download them and share them in social media platforms.
Right.
So we added, that. Then we added a widget, the ArtPlacer widget, which allows people to take the functionality of ArtPlacer and put it within their websites. So, these websites usually for art, you can see art in a room and it usually shows you always the same room with a couch or a person standing for perspective. Right. And it's always the same thing. We let people choose what room they want to show. But even more than that, we let the visitors to your website upload their own image of their own room and view art in their place. So we have that. We added, how many things? We added frames so people can have frames. They can have shadows. They can change the brightness of the art. We also have an augmented reality companion mobile app, which can be downloaded for free, where people can view art with augmented reality. And finally, we just launched what you're using in your exhibit, which is the virtual reality exhibits. Right. And that's great. And we have yours, which is one design. And then we have 6 other designs that people can choose from. And we can even build a custom gallery if we get the plans so we can reproduce a real physical gallery.
Well, that's fabulous. And there's so many aspects of ArtPlacer that are super interesting for me. And I think I love what you said at the beginning, right? particularly when someone doesn't have the Photoshop skills, which was the only way to do it back in the day. I remember been using Photoshop for a long time, and that's how I used to plan sometimes exhibitions, and how I used to, sometimes like create the promotional material, find a good picture of the gallery or take a picture of the gallery, then take it to Photoshop, resize it, put it in perspective, and it was time consuming. And what you have provided is an opportunity for anyone, just with easy of drag and drop to pick the room that you want or the wall that you want. And if you want something more intimate and smaller or such a big gallery space, and then upload your artwork, put all the information that you need, frame it if you wish, and then drop it into the room, and the room automatically will create a perspective so that you don't have to be tweaking things around and figuring out if the corners match. And I think, in a world in which we live in today, particularly with the pandemic, as it came by surprise to anyone, how important these tools have become for artists. And, when shows are closing or postponed, galleries, museums have postponed shows. And I think all across the board in the art world, we all have experienced some sort of lockdown or a delay on exhibitions. And for me as a gallery owner and also as a curator, thinking about, okay, how do we continue supporting the artists? How do we continue bringing artwork to the world in a way that people will understand it? Because on social media, you look at let's say you're following 1,000 artists, and all you see is the artwork in the same size in that little screen. But the moment you drop that artwork into a room, into a wall, it all of a sudden becomes alive for the viewer, for the person. All of a sudden has a point of reference to understand scale, to understand, how this artwork may look in my home, right? And that's kind of why I always tell artists, when you're doing this, you're not trying to really fake it, like, oh, I'm trying to fake it that isn't a fake, it's not that idea. It's the idea of helping people who is viewing the artwork to understand how the artwork exists also in the world. And these are tools that that you guys at ArtPlacer have been working at and have been really perfecting the craft, because it's a craft in itself, on how to do that. Tell me a little bit about, how the pandemic has also kind of accelerated the work that you guys do, and also as a business looking at, what else can you provide to the art community in that sense?
Yeah, no, obviously, the pandemic, the work we do, I think, is very good in these dates and times. But obviously, we're hoping that the pandemic ends very soon, and that we're all vaccinated, and then that we can all attend also real shows again. And right. The thing that I take from all of this is that I think the virtual possibilities are going to remain.
Oh, absolutely.
Because I think that, even though it's great being able to go to an art show, sometimes you simply cannot. You're in another part of the world, or you want to keep a gallery live when the show actually has been taken down. So I think that, it's going to be very useful forever now. I think everything is changing, but I think both things are very complementary. Now we have a big, chart of things that we want to do, hopefully this year and then the years ahead. We realize that we have to keep, keeping up with the technology and with the new things, and we don't want to sit down and just wait. So we have many things coming. We have we have a white label application of the mobile app, which hopefully, we can give to specific galleries or artists that want to have their own app. We also are going to get into virtual reality soon, where you can actually probably maybe be inside. So there's many things that are happening, and then we're trying to do.
Yeah, I totally agree with you, and and I totally believe that we are just scratching the surface of what's coming, or what's next. And I think this whole thing has kind of accelerated our pace of progress and our pace of I think, more than anything, the technology is out there, but making it accessible for people, and for people to accept it, right? To accept the fact, just like when the internet came along, at the beginning, galleries were like, well, why should I have a website, right? When nobody had one. Now it's like, you cannot have a gallery without a website. So, all these technologies take time to be adapted by people. Once they're adapted and they become part of the masses, then they become a no-brainer. They become a must-have. And I think this, as you pointed out, even though as galleries open up and museums open up, this is not going away. It's actually, I think now will become extending programming to the things that we are doing, where if I'm a gallery here in Chicago, I can put a show here. As now I have the show online where people can view it from around the world, and also providing additional programming, whereas, you can have video component, you can have audio, you can have, educational pieces for that too. So I think it just adds to what we as galleries and artists, can offer as well. And something that I've seen also, which I'm super excited about too, is that many artists now using this technology to also creating or curating their own shows. So where before you only had to wait for a gallery, to do so, I've seen artists who are working together, or a curator who's working with 2-3 artists and puts a show up, right? You don't need that physical space, if, for something like this, or to wait for the one. And I think that's refreshing. I think that's exciting. That's one of the things that, as you and I started talking about, what you were doing, it really got me super excited, because there's no end to it, right? It's just more opportunities will be coming in. So I think, we're just at the beginning.
Yeah, as the technology, becomes more and more advanced, there are more things that we can do. ArtPlacer right now works mostly with two-dimensional art.
Right.
And you can still use sculptures, but it's a little tricky. But now as the phones become, they have this new technology where you can actually use the camera to basically capture three-dimensional objects. So then we're going to be able to use that. The same thing with augmented reality, it works pretty well right now. But right now with the new technology, I think LiDAR is called, where actually, you can just basically beam the signaling to the wall, and then it bounces back, and then things are going to get better and better and better.
And very fast.
Yeah.
So let's talk about your newest release, which is the one that you and I are standing in front of, right? I'm standing in front of the exhibition Isolation Chronicles, which I'm very excited because ArtPlacer made it available to us here at Sergio Gomez Curates to release the show before anybody had access to the technology.
Yeah, the first one.
Very first one. So super thankful. All the artists, 65 artists who are participating, also very excited about that. They've been sharing and talking about it nonstop. And let's talk a little bit about this, which is the newest offering from ArtPlacer. So for anyone who's looking at putting an exhibition online as an artist, gallery curator, whatnot, tell me about what are some of the key features and so on for this new.
Yeah, basically right now, we have 3 plans in ArtPlacer: a basic plan, an advanced plan, and a premium plan. And people can go to artplacer.com and see the plans. But basically, I think they're like $11 for the basic, $29 for the advanced, and $59 for the premium. Now, this new feature, which is virtual galleries, are going to be offered to the premium users. So you don't have to pay anything else. Exactly. If you have a premium plan, you'll be able to use, we have like 7 galleries, I think 3 or 4 of them are included. And the other ones are maybe a little bit more advanced or bigger. So then you might have to pay a plus. But basically you have access to at least 5 shows simultaneously that you can have, up to 5 shows. If you need more than 5 shows, then you would have to pay an additional cost. But you can have a show, cancel it, open another one, archive it, and so. Exactly. And as I said, there's different spaces. Your space is a great space for a fairly large exhibition. But we have one that is called, we call the galleries by names of first names of artists: Jean-Michel, Diane, Leonardo, Frida. Frida happens to be like a museum-like space, which I think, we can have up to like 90 or 120 artworks. It's huge. But then we have one called Diane, which is tiny, and it allows up to 16 or 18 artworks, which is great for an artist that want to have its own show, his or her own show.
Right. And tell me also about the customization options that people will have when they use it, because I think that's very important. There are other platforms out there as well, but I think the customization part is something
no. Thank you, Sergio. Yeah, that's so important, because as you can see in your gallery, You have like, a concrete floor, I think, and white walls, and that can be customized. We're going to have in the ArtPlacer dashboard, right now you have upload a space, whatever, then you're going to be able to choose a gallery, one of the spaces, and then set up the different things. Like you can set different floors, different colors for the walls. You can set a different color for the ceiling. So yeah, it's very, very flexible. Very flexible.
And I think that's super important as you look at it, the point of curating a space. That all those little details matter, right? The color of your floor, the color of your walls, being able to customize. The customization, I think, is the key, I think, in what you guys are doing.
Yeah, we don't want to have everybody have the same gallery. It's kind of boring, and it actually, people might not like it, and they might like different things. And as I said, we can also, if some gallery, a physical gallery, wants to have their gallery like also represented virtually, we can really mimic it. We can really, we have, a great team of like 3D renderers and architects that can really basically bring everything to life, and it will look almost exactly as a real thing. Yeah.
That's great. And something that for me was also a key, I had tested many other platforms too, and also the easiness of use from the person who's looking at the exhibition on any multiple devices. And I've tested it on an iPad, on an iPhone, on an Android, on a computer, on a laptop, and different, just to see how it would feel. And it was very consistent throughout all the platforms. The easy of moving around on the phone. You can travel with just one finger, all throughout the entire show. And something that I really like too is that for those who may be, having a hard time traveling through a virtual space, like, they've never played a video game, for example, and like, I don't know how to do it. The option that you guys have of once you start in one artwork, you can just click next and next and next, and it will automatically take you. You don't have to navigate. You just got to go click next, and then
or you can go to the menu, and in the menu you also have all the artworks, and you have a list, and you click on one and it will jump to it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we try to make it very accessible, in a PC or on a Mac. On a desktop or a laptop, you can use even the WDSA keys to move if you like video games, or you can use the arrow keys, or you can use the actual buttons that are on the screen. And like, as you said, we're trying to make it work for every platform. Of course, you have to have a device that is, pretty modern. If you have a very old computer,
yeah, well, of course.
So
but all the standards of today, I think it works really, really great.
Totally.
Now, something that I think is super important, for artists and also for galleries, something that I had noticed that some other platforms were lacking, and you guys are working really good at it, is being able to also connect the work to the sales platforms where these works may be available for sale. So if somebody's looking at the work, and let's say you're putting together a solo show, and you already have all your artwork listed on Artsy or Artnet or somewhere, that you can easily connect the work directly to the sales platform so that transaction can happen.
Yeah, we have in the mobile app, and also we have also a discover page, which where we offer all our users to be displayed there, and it's a very nice page. And the nice thing about it is that all the galleries or artists that are there, they have access to the widgets. So I can show you that page and you can see, but then they have access to the widget, even if they don't have their own website and they don't want to put the widget into the website, or if they're not in the advanced plan, they can use it. And when people look at their art, they can connect with them, inquire about purchasing it, or if they have a link to a e-commerce platform, they can click on buy and it automatically will take them there. That's so right now, basically, this is like a platform for people to really display their art and hopefully sell it.
Exactly, which it's great to have the connection of both, being able, and as an option too, if you don't want to use it, or where you just want to exhibit the work, you can do that. But if you want to have that option, then have it visible and functional. So that is pretty awesome. Thank you again, Nico, for explaining a little bit about what it is and what it does. I want to invite our friends to go and check out, for example, the exhibition Isolation Chronicles. Just go to SergioGomezCurates.net And if you love that, you're going to love working with ArtPlacer and looking at all the options that they have. And tell me, where can our friends find ArtPlacer, both on social media and on the website, where they can, test these things out?
Well, they can go to artplacer.com, and there they'll have all the information about us, and also have access to the Discover page. And in the Discover page, they can see a lot of the galleries. And I think right now we have we're closing on almost 1,000. So, I mean, we're getting a lot of people interested.
That's fabulous. And how about on social media? Where can we find you?
Social media, we're in all the social media. We're in Facebook, we're in Instagram,
Yes.
in LinkedIn, in YouTube,
Everywhere.
All of them.
Super. Very excited. And well, Nico, thank you so much for all this information. It's been really awesome. And now something that's very good news is that you guys at ArtPlacer have provided a special discount code for us here, for Friends of Breakfast with Sergio. And can you tell us a little bit about that discount?
Yeah, I mean, if you register through Breakfast with Sergio, you're going to get like a discount of 20%, I think. All you need to do is to enter the code, which I believe is Sergio Gomez, right?
Yeah, all together, Sergio Gomez, no space in between, and then you will be set and ready for ArtPlacer to mount your exhibitions, to use the application for augmented reality, and all the things that you guys offered now and that you will continue to bring to the art community. So,
and Sergio, sorry, I also would add that, when you register, I mean, it's a trial. So you can try it, and if you cancel within 7 days, you won't be charged or anything. So
super. So now there's no excuse. Everybody can try it, test it, and see how it works and what it does. I've been very happy with it myself. That's why we launched Isolation Chronicles through ArtPlacer, because we really love what you guys are doing. We think it's great product, great service, and I think it's just going to get better and better. So thank you so much, my friends. Don't forget to follow us on social media. Please share this episode with all your friends. This is one of those that, the information that we cover here can help a lot of people. So do us a favor and spread the word, spread the love. Just click share before you go, and share it to all your friends. Or maybe you have a friend right now who's been thinking about this, or a gallery owner or a curator that this would be very useful. Just click that share button, send them a direct message with this episode so they can also take advantage of this opportunity. So thank you, Nico. And thanks to all our friends.
Thank you, Sergio.
We'll see you later.
Thank you.
Check out our website at www.theartistnextlevel.com, where you will find our podcast library, learn about our upcoming webinars, find resources relevant to your career, and much more. Thanks for listening to today's podcast, and we'll see you at the next level.